Thanks for staying with us. Still reviewing Punch. So the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, has said last Sunday during his media chat, was saying that he was explaining the 70 bodies that was recovered, corpses that were recovered by the police. He was responding to the leaders of the northern community in the markets who said that they saw the move by the governor to convert the market to become a daily, from a weekly market to becoming a daily market, as a ploy to evict them. That's the northern community in that market. They said it was a ploy to evict them from the market, saying that they were not even aware of the discovery of the corpses at all. The governor, however, responded saying that the security operatives, the security agents have access to the corpses, and investigations are still ongoing. And once it's concluded, they'll determine if it's going to be, they have a mass burial or public viewing for people to come and identify their loved ones, or they will find a way to handle the burial of the corpses. However, the security agencies do have access to the corpses, and the investigation is ongoing at the time.
Okay, so I have the cooking gas story.
Sorry?
Oh, I thought you had taken a story in Punch before. I want to take the story of... Has. Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
What is wrong with it? Not change.
So, go ahead.
So cooking gas, according to this Punch report, has increased, is scarce, according to the report, across some states, Lagos, Katsina, Sokoto, Delta, Kaduna, and Kano. And so they took an inventory and said that, across the states, and said that the terminal owners are the ones who increased the cost of the price of cooking gas. In October, they increased it by 66%. They were buying at 9 million, 20 metric tons of cooking gas at 9 million from LNG, but they increased it to 10 million. That's the cooking gas terminal owners. And so they went and asked the chairperson, the president, Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Oladapo Olatubosun, why this is happening. And he said, well, he in his own gas plant, he sells at 950 to 1 kg. But people will then go to those who do not have to sell. So people who don't have, of course, will buy from people like the president and add their own profit to selling. So that's what he thinks is happening here in Lagos. But eyewitnesses say that there's no scarcity of the product, just deliberately increased. So now a 12.5 kg cylinder goes for 13,500. And you will find the gas in all those plants where you want to buy. It's just that the money has gone up. So I will stick with the fact of gas plant owners increasing the money themselves, you know.
Okay.
So I want to take the story about collecting pension. The human rights lawyer and son, Mr. Femi Falana, has appealed to the Senate president. He was specifically mentioning the name of the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, that and all the other former governors to stop collecting pensions that they're entitled to as governors. He said that following the fact that Ogun State, that's former governor of Ogun State, Benga Daniels, and former governor of Gombe State, Ibrahim Dan Kwambo, have urged that this should be stopped. He also asked the State Assembly that Kwara has done it, Imo has done it, Zamfara has done it. The House of Assembly has stopped paying pension, the governor's pension scheme, and other state assemblies should follow. This is in support of the SERAP, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project. They have filed a suit against the Attorney General of the Federation, challenging the validity of pension payments to former governors within Nigeria. And he's speaking to say, even before we get the verdict on these cases, the state assemblies should discontinue these payments, considering where the country is financially.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on now to Vanguard. CBN Governor Cardoso vows to fight inflation. Alleged bias IGP to redeploy Imo Commissioner of Police. Third Mainland Bridge, FG advises motorists to use alternative routes. Forex gains banks' profits balloons by 156% to 2.3 trillion. Flights resume as federal government reopens the Ibadan airport. Serap sues Tinubu over failures to probe missing $15 billion and 200 billion naira oil revenue. Tinubu leaves Abuja for Saudi summit this week. 5 days to Bielsa Imo Kogi polls. Fear of violence, apathy looms. And interview why Nigerians should kiss free, fair, credible elections. Goodbye, says Umudu.
Yeah, let me discuss just a very short story. I think we're aware of the plane that crash landed at the Ladoke Akintola Airport in Ibadan over the weekend. It was carrying the Minister for Power and his entourage. Gladly, there were no casualties, but they said the plane was extensively damaged. Anyway, just to say that the airport has been reopened again and flights have resumed. That's all.
Was it a private jet, right? I think it was.
Yes, it was a private jet.
Okay, so third Mainland Bridge, let me take that story. The Lagos federal government, in Lagos, federal government has urged motorists to use alternative routes to avert gridlock as comprehensive repair works at the Adekule ramp to third Mainland Bridge will be closed from today. 9 a.m. will be closed today. This was said by addressing newsmen on 11.8 kilometer bridge. This was engineer Mrs. Ulukorede Kesha was saying that the repairs will begin today, adding that those of you coming in from Yanowuru, going to the island, you have no issues.
Okay.
Is if you are going off or exiting off to the ramp to Adekunle, that is closed. If you're coming in also from Herbert Macaulay, getting to Durban, you can't do that because it's been closed for repairs. So those of you going in and out to the island from Yanowuru, to the island, it's fine. It's free, so you're good to go. Because I thought about it.
So I have the Serap story. Serap has sued the president, in another of mandamus, in order to compel him to probe the 15 billion oil revenues and 200 billion budgeted to repair the refineries in Nigeria between 2020 and 2021. The Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NETI, made these allegations that the NNPC and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NPDC, failed to remit 13.591 million and 8.251 billion to the public treasury. And so in this defense, of course, Serap went for an order of mandamus to direct the president to order the security agencies to probe these monies, oil revenues and refinery repair monies that were budgeted and disbursed to the NNPC as well as the Nigerian Petroleum Upstream Regulatory Commission. I think it's about time we get clearer audits and, a transparent audit of the NNPC's dealings. I wondered how it was possible throughout the last administration that they didn't remit money when those allegations were made. Yeah,
I want to quickly take the price hike, petrol price hike that has taken place within the north. There's been a steady increase in price of fuel in the north. They said that as opposed to it being sold in the south it's going for around 610, 630, as much as 640, 680 naira per liter. This is in Niger, Benue, Kano, and the marketers are blaming the cost of transportation. Speaking for the marketers, they said particularly in the north, the IPMAN president, Chief Ukadike Chinedu, said that because the petrol is being moved by road, diesel cost is 1,200 naira per liter. They have to put the cost of diesel moving petrol that comes in from the coastal areas of Nigeria to the north is going to continue to make the price of petrol go up in the north. Said that the roads are terrible and that some of their trucks spend as much as 1 week moving products from the south to the north. And the calculation is what makes the price to go up, that the cost of transportation is going to continue to affect the cost of products in the northern areas of Nigeria. And the motorists, of course, are all complaining. The residents are complaining that what can be done. I just feel really sad that we still don't have train transportation for moving these products because there's no way to make it cheaper to move products from the south to the north if we're using roads and depending on diesel. Okay,
let's, do you have any story in the point? Who has any story?
Yes, I have this.
Anxiety as voters decide candidates' fate. High cost of living worsening our predicaments. Nigerians living with disabilities lament. Diversification drives Nigerian pension fund and the menace of godfatherism in Nigerian politics. Okay, which story? So is that 74-year-old?
Yes, I do. I have a very
granddaughter.
Chilling story. I almost didn't take it, but it's good to just highlight these stories for us to be aware of what is happening and what the government is doing. So a 16-year-old girl has told or has narrated her story on how when she was 14, her parents had sent her over to stay with her grandfather, who at the time was about 72. But he's in his 70s, so at this time he's a 74-year-old man. And that while she was staying with him for 2 years, from when she was 14 till she was 16, she says that he raped her many times. and that her family members are aware. She's told her family members over and over again, but the family members said, yes, they've heard it, but they just thought she was trying to spoil the name of their family or spoil the man's name. It was until, she spoke to a few other people that this became a police case. He's been dragged to court, and so that's why we're hearing about it. So this happened from 2021 up to this year.
Yeah.
Sadly, saying it's only twice.
And then in his own defense, he says, well, it just happened twice. It wasn't for 2 years.
It's
Final story?
We have this account of people living with disabilities decrying the hardship presently in the country. And this report took one person whose name is David, and didn't mention his surname, who has a spinal cord injury, how he's dependent on his brother since he had that accident, and how because of rent, the landlord keeps increasing rent in Osun where they live, and his brother can no longer provide certain basic amenities for him. He says government should look into that. He says that it is the same, and the article then covers that it's the same situation for people living with disabilities across the country. They went from state to state, association to association, Nigerian Association of the Blind in Osun. They also went to the Northern Nigeria Disability Forum, where they picked on, the people living with disabilities, of course, saying that the palliatives that government promised has not even reached their associations or them in any way. And transportation, of course, is still a problem because they need money. One of the problems that they have is that they are largely unemployed, they lack skills, and they are unable to acquire quality education because of the way the country is wired. Most of the times they've been fighting that, they create amenities where it's easier for them to exist and live and thrive on their own without necessarily begging. And I hope that the Ministry for Humanitarian Affairs would get the points copied today, page 17, read it, and please look into something for them. Very important.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.